Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirai Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Nachayate Putra Ka Bhratuhu Ahantaro Dhanadanugaha Visarga Dhanayostata Pumso Daivam Hi Karanam Nachayate Putra Ka Bhratuhu Antaro Dhanadanugaha Visargandhanayostata Pumso Daivam Hi Karanam Nachayate Putraka Bhratuhu Antaro Dhanadanugaha Visargandhanayostata Pumso Daivam Hi Karanam. Pumso Devam Hi Karanam Nachayate Putraka Bhratuhu Antaro Dhanadanugaha Visargadhanayostata Pumso Devam Hi Karanam. Okay, there we go. Na, never. Ete, all these. Putraka, my dear son. Bratuhu, of your brother. Hantaraha, killers. Dhanada, of Kuvera. Anugaha, followers. Visarga, of birth. Adanayoho, of death. Tata, my dear son. Pumsaha, of a living entity. Daivam, the supreme. He, certainly. Karanam, the cause. My dear son, those yakshas who are descendants of Kuvera are not actually killers of your brother. The birth and death of every living entity are caused by the Supreme, who are certainly the cause of all causes. Who is certainly the cause of all. My dear son, those yakshas who are descendants of Kuvera are not actually killers of your brother. The birth and death of every living entity are caused by the Supreme, who is certainly the cause of all causes. Are, chalo. Saeva Vishram Srijati Sa Evavati Hanti Cha Atapihi Anahankaran Najati Gunakarma Vihi. Saha, he, eva, certainly, Vishwam, the universe, Srijati, creates, Saha, he, eva, certainly, Avati, maintains, Hanti, annihilates, Cha, also, Atha api, moreover, he, certainly, Anahankara, from being without ego, na, nor, ajyate, becomes entangled. Guna, by the modes of material nature. Karma bihi, by activities. The Supreme Personality Godhead creates this material world, maintains and enlaces in due course of time, but because he is transferred to such activities, he is never affected by ego in such action or by the modes of material nature. The Supreme Personality Godhead creates this material world, maintains it, annihilates it in due course of time. But because he is transcendental to such activities, he is never affected by ego in such action or by the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Purport by His Divine Grace, says Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. In this verse, the word Anhankara means without ego. The conditioned soul has a false ego, and as a result of his karma, he gets different types of bodies in this material world. Sometimes he gets the body of a demigod, and he thinks that body to be his identity. When he gets the body of a dog, he identifies himself with that body. But for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no such distinction between the body and the soul. Bhagavad Gita therefore certifies that anyone who thinks of Krishna as an ordinary human being is without knowledge of his transcendental nature and it is ill. The Lord says, Namam karmani limpanti. He is not affected by anything he does because he is never contaminated by the material modes of nature. That we have a material body proves that we are infected by the three modes of material nature. The Lord says to Arjuna, you and I had many, many births previously, but I remember everything, whereas you don't. That is the difference between the living entity or conditioned soul and the spirit soul.
Mataji, a little louder, we can't hear.
Yes, sir. The super soul, the supreme personality of Godhead, has no material body, and because he has no material body, he is not affected by any work he executes. There are many Mayavadi philosophers who consider that Krishna's body is the effect of a concentration of the material mood of goodness, and they distinguish Krishna's soul from Krishna's body. The real situation, however, is that the body of the conditioned soul, even if he has a large accumulation of material goodness, is material, whereas body is never material, it is transcendental. Krishna has no false ego, for he does not identify himself with the false and temporary body. His body is always eternal. He descends to this world in his own original spiritual body. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita as Param Bhavam. The words Param Bhavam and Davyam are especially significant for understanding Krishna's person. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashad Deshatarine Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Saiva Vishram Srajati Sa Evavati Hanti Cha Atapi Anahankaran Najate Gunakarma Bihi So Supreme Personality Godhead creates this material world, maintains it, annihilates in due course of time, but because it transcends such activities, is never affected by ego in such action or by the modes of material nature. Hare Krishna, welcome everybody. Audio is clear? I hope so.
Yes.
So, ego. Now, what are we trying to do? Make a small temple. And Krishna creates unlimited universes. To get an idea, to get an idea of the limited, unlimited, just get this picture. When Vasudeva Datta told Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I cannot see the suffering of the conditioned souls, I cannot see the suffering of the conditioned soul, can you take them back to Godhead? So at that time, and if there is a suffering, you can give it to me. So at that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very touched by his sincere, honest prayer. And he says, even if Krishna liberates the whole universe, this universe is just like one mustard seed in a bag of mustard seeds. So just imagine Krishna's position. Millions and billions of universes he creates. And what are we doing? A small, one DT kitchen, one small hall, and so much devotion. I did this, I did that. Look at it. And in front of Krishna, Prabhupada says very nice. The biggest problem is we think I'm something. I'm something. I'm something. This is the biggest problem. And imagine how much we have to go forward as a pure devotee, being totally transparent. His only identification is as a servant of Krishna. He has no other identification. That's called real ego. Now, real ego is not wrong. When you are paying obeisances to the deity, you are identifying yourself as the servant of Srila Prabhupada. Nothing wrong with the real ego. I am a servant of Krishna. Jivera sarup hoye Krishnera nitya das. My original identity is I am an eternal servant of Krishna. Now that is not wrong. That's called real ego. Most of the people say, बहुत ego है आपको. Now which ego? False ego or real ego? Okay? What they are referring to actually is false ego. In the Mayavada philosophy, they want to destroy any kind of ego, any kind of identification. And then I merge into the Supreme Brahman. But here we are not, Prabhupada says, that is like committing suicide. What is that? Like committing suicide. You cannot destroy your identity. You are an eternal servant of Krishna. So how this false ego starts? In fact, we have come to this material world because of false ego. The moment we identify ourselves anything other than Krishna, that gives birthright to false ego. Correct? What is false ego? A wrong identification. When you forget, I am an eternal servant of Krishna, then Krishna bhuliya jeev. Therefore Prabhupada says, anything we see in this world, nirbandha, Krishna, sambandha. We should not forget Krishna sambandha of everything in this world. Everything. Bhoga and Aishwarya are the biggest obstacles in spiritual life. And why they are coming? Because we are breaking the sambandha of that thing to Krishna. Say bhoga, enjoyment. Now see an apple, you forget its connection to Krishna, that belongs to Krishna. Anna. Simple example we give, suppose somebody comes to your house and picks up an apple from the table and starts eating, what do you say? This is mine. You didn't ask my permission, it belongs to me. So we forget the identification to whom anything belongs. When you forget that identification and try to take something, you become a thief and you are punished for that. Correct? So, true? Isn't this true in the material world? You go somewhere, you see some car, and you pick up the car and start taking the car. The boy, what are you doing? Why you are stealing my car? You'll be punished for it. It belongs to something. So everything in this world, we have to see to whom it belongs and then we move. If you touch something which somebody else owns, he is going to get angry. Right? So we should be very, very conscious to whom something belongs. And then we move forward. Ultimately, everything belongs to Krishna. You cannot say, you pick up somebody's car as you're driving, so why you're driving a car? No, it belongs to Krishna. I want to use it for Krishna's work. You cannot touch it like that. Lack of etiquettes, lack of understanding of the laws of the world, you'll be punished. Correct? Nobody will support you in this foolishness. Okay? So we should be conscious of everything to whom it belongs. Okay, done. Because we are identifying with the body, we start developing false ego. Okay? So we were now analyzing Krishna bhuliya jiva bhogavancha kare. Krishna bhuliya. We forgot Krishna and bhogavancha kare. We develop a desire to enjoy. So the false ego was the beginning of our disaster, the beginning of our calamity. It begins with false ego, Krishna bhuliya. We forget our relationship to Krishna, we forget our service to Krishna, and bhogavancha kare. We want to enjoy independent of Krishna. And then to facilitate this, chapatiya maya. So we are in this material world actually, and our whole problem after Prabhupada says, we become addicted to material enjoyment. We are now lost in the material world, having left the shelter of Krishna, and now we identify ourselves as the product of material nature. From there, the main problem starts. We identify, just like people identify, I belong to this state, I belong to this language, I belong to this country. It's all rubbish. We do not belong to any one of these things. What is this identification? Therefore, we have the shloka for pure devotion service, sarvo padi vinirmuktam. All kind of upadhis have to be given up. Tat paratvena nirmalam. And then after you become purified, after giving up all kind of upadhis, then in that condition, rishikesha sevanam, we come to platform of pure devotion service. With all the senses, we just serve Krishna. Don't you think we want that? Yes, we want that. But then, when we are trying to purify these upadhis, it's a lot of internal work. Just because I am initiated doesn't make anything of that. That is just ABCD. Previously in the Vedic culture, 75% society is initiated. What's the big deal about it? Initiation means I have come to live a gentleman life. It's a Kanishtadhikari, the beginner. But then the person is seen, his advancement is seen by now how much he is able to remove from his heart Mana Puja Pratishtha. Because now the next one. The bija is planted. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, the bija of bhakti is planted in our heart. But then that's Kanishtadhikari. That's the beginning. Faith has been given to serve Krishna. We have taken shelter of Srila Prabhupada, we have taken shelter of Guru Maharaj, we have taken shelter of Radha Govinda, but now long journey to begin. Now we have to grow the plant. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya. Now we are only in this stage, we have come to Bhajan Kriya. The next stage, Anartha Nivritti. So we will remain whole life in Anartha Nivritti. Can we even cross Anartha Nivritti? That should be the challenge. Then we will get firm faith when the mind is purified. Tatparatvena nirmalam. The mind is purified. So it is very easy actually to sit in a forest, in one sense, to do meditation. It is not easy to live in a community of devotees and do devotional service because the false ego will be visible again and again. And then what do? Tatparatvena nirmalam. We have to purify that. We have to purify. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena upadi. And then upadi become visible, that I am actually having an identification independent of Krishna. And then the spiritual life flourishes. When we throw away our upadi, when you're holding our upadi, there is so much I am something, it's all rubbish what I am. Just imagine, compared to Krishna, where we are, I am nothing. Okay? Tat paratvena nirmalam. Person is very, very purified. Rishikena, Rishikesha sevanam. By the senses, person starts serving Krishna, and that is called Shuddha Bhakti. So our objective of life is to achieve Shuddha Bhakti and achieve a platform from false ego, but not ego. Okay, this is the big difference between us and Mayavadis. Most of the people in the spiritual life, they say we should not have ego, we remove ego. But Hanumanji has, I am a servant of Lord Ram. See? In fact, once we had a lecture by Guru Maharaj, and he says, it's a great pleasure for me today to represent the great Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It's an identification. We are identifying ourselves. When we are going outside meeting people with the dress we are having, we are identifying ourselves as a member of the great Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Correct? That's wrong. That's real identity. That is not false ego. If we are proud that I am a servant of Srila Prabhupada, in that way identification, proud to be just a servant of Srila Prabhupada, proud to have such a great Acharya as our leader, that's not false ego, that's real ego. Okay, try to understand there is a difference between a false ego and real ego. Okay, so we should try to come to the platform of real ego and come out of the platform of false ego. So in this way that develops. Now as far as comes to Krishna, analyzing now the Krishna, there are two shlokas here. It talks about, Prabhupada talks about how Krishna never takes a material body. So he never has a wrong identification. See, we, whenever it is either in the lift in a mall or in a room, we see a mirror, we start looking at ourselves. But actually many times it is, we are furthering our illusion because we are seeing, I am this, you're not that. We keep looking. And such an illusion it is. We keep looking at that picture, the so-called image. And everybody dreams he is handsome. That's another illusion. We look like Yamudutas in front of the beautiful servants of Vishnu. So, but we still keep having the illusion, I am very beautiful, I am very so-called handsome, I am very attracted to women, or a woman thinks I am very attracted to man. All the nonsense goes on when we look at our own image. What is there? It's just a packet of stool and urine. Shankaracharya says, therefore, whatever beauty a man and woman can display is nothing but a combination of flesh and bones. So, but imagine, we need to disidentify with this body. Totally disidentify. Like Srila Prabhupada was in America, and he writes to his God brothers, please consider me to be just a member of your Gaudiya Math. I have no desire to be a leader or anything of your institution. Just send me some help. My Guru Maharaj wanted to preach in America, and I am here. Can you send some devotees and some Lakshmi? We can do it. I see a good opportunity. You must just imagine. He is not thinking that he has to be the Jagat Guru, he has to be the Nacharya. He was circumstantially forced that. He just wanted to execute the order of his Guru Maharaj. So what did he do? Nobody came to help him. And then he had to train the American disciples. The training means you are their teacher, you are their Guru. He has to accept the responsibility. When responsibility came to him, he did not run away. But as such, he was ready to be just a member of the Gaudiya Math. You see that? So beautiful, proper lives. So in that way, we see how the Krishna conscious movement has progressed. Prabhupada says, therefore, we should not have any personal agendas. We should not have false ego. Then it is very nice. Correct? Very nice. In fact, if you look at this world, to the people who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, to us who are interested in Krishna consciousness, our number is extremely small. Say in Mangalore city, totally in election, they said something like 15 lakh people for the MP election. So our region is, we are in the middle, we are not just in Mangalore. So take the whole district, if you take DK district, they are, or UK, they are something like 15 lakh people, okay? And how many people we have full time? And how many people even with the congregation? It's hardly anything, correct? True, we had a privilege by the grace of the Vaishnavas, grace of Krishna to bring message of Krishna consciousness to 10 lakh people. That's a separate thing. But how many people physically we have with us? You know, when we have now a challenge to bring the deities worship to the highest standard, we have a challenge to bring the deity cooking to the highest standard. How many people we have? Hardly anybody, correct? It's practically compared to the people, insignificant. So it's very, very rare. In fact, to get the fortune of Krishna consciousness is extremely rare. We can just understand the opportunity of serving Krishna. Correct? You are also in your city. Now in your city, say population may be few million. Okay? Mangalore is comparatively a small city. And then how many of people you know who are actually practicing Krishna consciousness? The number is insignificant, isn't it so? Anna? So we should think actually that what a fortune I have. What a fortune. And can I, true to some degree, as we identify ourselves as servant of Krishna, we are doing some seva, we are chanting our rounds, we are executing something. Just imagine when you come on the pure platform as the service of Krishna, all the false ego will disappear at that moment. It will just disappear. And then the joy of Krishna consciousness starts. The real joy of Krishna consciousness will only open up. Prabhupada says, we have no access to the spiritual realm without the mercy of Guru. We have no access. We can't even feel the joy of Krishna consciousness. You know, we have no, sometimes you want ticket, some program is there, you want a ticket, no? To get a ticket, to enter and see the spiritual world, we have no access without the mercy. Like in Vrindavan, you know, Vrindavan was very nice. So the residents of Vrindavan once desired, they could understand by one. Yes, Rama Devi, very beautiful shloka. Yes, thank you. You quote the shloka now in the end. Okay? False ego ke liye, please, all of you get ready. We'll have to take some info. So, some thoughts I'm just sharing. So people have become so intelligent now. So there was Krishna, the residents of Vrindavan were actually desiring that will we go back to the spiritual world? Can Krishna take us back to the spiritual world? And Krishna took to the banks of the river, Yamuna, and boom, manifested the spiritual world in front of them. So similarly, Srila Prabhupada also used to joke, I have a backdoor key to the spiritual world. Correct? You just hold my dhoti, I'll take you back to the spiritual world. So What are we doing in spiritual life? We just have invested our faith by seeing the super excellent activity, just like by seeing the super excellent activities of Krishna. Residents of Vrindavan put all their faith on Krishna. Okay, he was their only shelter. Similarly, somehow, in fact, I remember the first time I attended class in my college of ISKCON, somebody had very nicely with a chalk sketched Prabhupada's face. Hardly I knew what next I'm going to do. Correct? I was just hearing the class, hardly able to make out something. That's all of us had that in the beginning. Correct? And as we came to know more and more about Prabhupada, more we feel grateful and more we understand how great he is. Correct? More and more. And today, whatever we are doing in a spiritual life, it is because what our little faith we have in Srila Prabhupada. And that is actually the asset. The different assets people have. Daiva Sampati and Asura Sampati. The Daiva Sampati this is when you sleep in a day, I should say, did I increase my faith in Guru and Krishna today? Have I grown in that? That is your real Sampati. The rest of what is there, fame in this world, some so-called followers, some money, some comfort, this all will go, What will remain when you're leaving the body is your faith in Guru and Krishna. That will decide your destination. So that is my real sampati and that is my real ego. The false ego will actually keep me in the material world. Therefore, Prabhupada says sometimes, when the wealth is taken away, it's actually very wonderful. It reduces the material fever. And the person becomes, free from false ego. The source is the false ego. And the Vedic culture, therefore, the Brahmanas used to live in a very simple poverty life. Why? Because it can become the source of false ego. Correct? Therefore, now we can understand the Vasudeva Vipra. When Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave me a beautiful body, he requested Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that should not become source of my false ego. When Brahma was being empowered by the Lord to create, he requested the Lord, I may create, but that should not be the source of my false ego. Because the devotee is actually scared. False ego means proud. Devotee is actually scared to become proud. Because pride means something disconnected from the Lord. I've done something. So it's actually, society is crazy. As you grow in any institution or in society, as you age up, people add your credentials. You did this, you did this, you did that. Just like Srila Prabhupada. He has launched a wonderful Krishna conscious movement and no parallel, no competition, no comparison. In this, there is nothing. Many devotees tell, okay, there are some problems in the movement because now Srila Prabhupada is no longer with us. But then, they say there is no comparison. We don't have any other institution of any comparison. No competition. Can you just imagine what Prabhupada has given? No comparison, no competition. Prabhupada talks about Bhagavatam. Each word is for the good of humanity. So Prabhupada also what he gave, each word is for our good, for our welfare. So in that way, even though such an Acharya who achieved something which is unparalleled in the recent history, correct? Unparalleled. And that Acharya says, what does he say? He says, I have no credit. People say I have launched this wonderful Krishna conscious movement, but I have no credit in this connection. If it is, it belongs to my spiritual master. So we should therefore also meditate. Actually, we have no credit, but it is not easy. This is a lifetime work of self-purification. And then you can say, I am coming to the platform Madhyamadhikari from Kanishtadhikari. Therefore, Prabhupada says, angry and passionate are not devotees of the Lord, as much they may advertise. They are not devotees. False ego, ahankara, pride, they are not devotees. Kanishta. Kanishta is like sahajiya, something, just beginning. It does not attract. So the real sampati, if you are focused, long time ago I remember, the one senior devotee went to the temple president in Bangalore when I was there. He said, what do? I feel envious of other devotees. He said, what can be done? You have forgotten the very purpose for you came. You came to see the Lord within the heart. You came to develop Daiva Sampatti. When our real focus goes away, then unwanted focuses, start, the weeds start growing up. So therefore, the false ego is kind of a trap. I am something, I have done something. It's a trap, Maya's trap. We have to come out of it. It's for us a challenge for us. Challenge for us. It's not that we have to meditate on other person. That's not your business. You challenge your own self. Nowadays people say, no, challenge yourself. Nowadays it's very common saying in English, challenge yourself. They put say 10,000 steps a day, 20,000 steps a day or something to learn. Or we have a challenge ourselves to meditate that is it that anywhere my ahankara is getting visible and what do I do to dissolve it? Okay. Then our success of spiritual life comes. Just like here Dhruva Maharaj, out of his great ego, you dare to touch my brother, I'll show you who am I. And is wiping out the whole dynasty of the Yakshas. And at that time, Swayambhava Manu comes as his grandfather. And is listening very submissively to him. Counseling cannot be done unless somebody is submissive. Like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't speak one word of knowledge to Arjuna when he is blabbling, blah, 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 blah. Krishna is just silent. Angira Rishi also doesn't give any instruction to Chitraketu when he's blabbering, my child, my friend. So we cannot sometimes say, why I am not getting counsel? Maybe I am not in a position to be counseled. Correct? We cannot expect, like in Srimad Bhagavatam as it said, Mitho abhipadyat grahavatana matirina krishne parato sato va mitho abhipadyat grahavatana. So I may have so many Vaishnavas around me, but I am not getting any benefit. Nobody is counseling me because I am not in a position. Grihavratana, I must give up my own ego. I give up my own plan of sense enjoyment. Nobody can help me. So we have to, see sometimes what happens, we are chanting Hare Krishna, reading Srila Prabhupada, we are doing everything, we are doing services, but we have to take a decision. This all helps to surrender to Guru, to surrender to Vaishnavas, to surrender to Krishna. It is our privilege. It is our decision. We have to do it. If you're chanting around, if following regulated principles, it will become easier. But we have to surrender. It's a conscious effort. Correct? When we take Diksha, it's a conscious effort. I'm taking shelter. Now if you're sincerely chanting Hare Krishna, following regulated principles, the glories of Guru will start manifesting in your heart. The glories of the great Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya will start manifesting in your heart. Okay? That will all happen. But then you have to take a decision. Yes, I want to take shelter. It's not automatic. We have to take a decision. There is sadhaka nature which we have to apply. Just like I'm sitting here and then somebody, I see some people are drinking and I'm getting attracted to drinking. I have to take a decision not to drink. We are at sadhaka level now. Don't think sometimes we make a mistake. We are at raganuka level, everything will happen. There was one devotee who was telling. So there was a complaint against him that he doesn't take one step outside the temple and go for preaching. So I met him once and I said, why it is like that? He said, see, I'm trying to advance my consciousness. When I advance, then everything will happen automatically. This is mithya. You have to, as a sadhaka, put an effort. You cannot wait. No, suddenly everything will happen. This is raganuga level. I have to put an effort. There are orders by Krishna, there are orders of Prabhupada. How do I conduct myself? And I have to put an effort to follow those orders. It's not automatic. Nothing happens automatically. I'll just chant Hare Krishna, I'll chant 108 rounds. Nothing. You have to put an effort to execute the orders of Srila Prabhupada. It will become easier. If you chant more, it will become easier. But then I have to put an effort. How to conduct myself? How do I do service? Correct? It's not just doing service. What consciousness I am doing service? With what consciousness I am chanting? Correct? So this is very much important. And then gradually the false ego will dissolve. Correct? So we may say, see, when we say, like Srila Prabhupada said, I have no credit in this regard, we should also say that, even though it's not true that we are speaking from the heart. Like once what happened, Srila Prabhupada, somebody paid obeisance to Srila Prabhupada. So after that, his disciple came to Prabhupada's room. He said, Prabhupada, when I pay obeisance to you, I don't really feel the gratitude I should feel. Prabhupada said, doesn't matter. You still pay obeisance. It's not that when I develop the gratitude, no, you have to do the sadhana now. What does the sadhana say? The moment you see the spiritual master, pay obeisance. It's a sadhana. But gradually, just like when you see Radha Krishna, we pay obeisance. Is it that the day feelings come inside of heart, my heart? No. Many people behave like that. We have to do sadhana. There was one person who was saying, now I'm angry. So why you are angry? No, what to do? I'm a sadhaka. When I advance, I will stop being angry. No, you're getting the whole thing wrong. Now it's a sadhana. The sadhana, vacho vegam manasa krodham. This is a sadhana. Not that automatically in a pure devotee this vega will happen. No, you have to put an effort. Sometimes we are just becoming a sahajiya, not putting an effort. Sahajiya means thinking it is very cheap. It's not cheap. I have to put an effort. That is where we lack many times. We have to put an effort. So when Srila Prabhupada says that actually I have no credit in this connection, we have to say that. Therefore Prabhupada says when you meet devotees, the biggest blunder is boast yourself. No, I did that, this happened, just like by Krishna's grace, we developed this beautiful preaching. Never say to anybody in a sense of pride, never. Say by the grace of Vaishnavas, I don't know what's, even though we do not feel like that, even though we feel doership, we should say like that. It brings purity in the atmosphere. The more we may be, I am proud maybe, but we should always act the way sadhaka should act. No, Prabhuji, actually, I am just a fallen soul. Somehow Krishna's grace, some service is happening, we're desiring it to finish on certain days. If Krishna's mercy is there, it will happen. So, if we feel like that, no, we don't feel like that. But it should be spoken as a sadhana, because it purifies my heart, because I am also hearing. What I am speaking is truth. What I believe is something else. Speak the truth. Now when Prabhupada says there is no credit in this connection, whatever credit is goes to my spiritual master. Now if people come and Krishna's grace, he completed the project on time, then what is going to happen? People will say, oh, you want wonderful, all credit to you. No. Have any credit? It is to my spirit. Say that. Do you feel that? No, we don't feel like that. We feel we have done it. No, don't say like that. Try to understand. This element of sadhana has to be built in our speech. Vacho vegam is very important. Okay? And then as we develop as a matter of sadhana, then the whole atmosphere becomes very pleasing, very, very pleasing. Correct? Otherwise the devotees will not say anything, they will be silent. But they know, guy is not mature enough. Correct? You have to learn. Heart will take a lot of time to come. Heart is not going to come in a day. But you have to learn. Satya, Priya, Hitam. You have to speak truthfully. Priya, you have to speak sweetly. And Hitam, always for the benefit of other living entity. That is what we are focused on. But our thing is, Hitam is only ourselves. That is false ego. Yes, just like we have advancement of spiritual life means Name Ruchi Jive Daya. Therefore Prabhupada says here, we see that Dhruva Maharaj was angry, but there is one problem. He forgot that he has to be actually compassionate. And in compassion you are never angry. And even if there is anger in compassion, it is pleasing to other person. Correct? So Dhruva Maharaj from his exalted position and Swayambhava Manu, so there is an aberration. He comes down and is amazingly counseling his grand disciple. But why is he counseling? Because he is submissive. He cannot counsel him, he is not submissive. He is hearing, Dhruva Maharaj is hearing, and then if he feels correct, and he says, okay, I give up. I am not going to kill any more yakshas. And when Kuvera hears of this, he immediately comes running to bless him. And as Swayambhava Manu has instructed him, be respectful to Kuvera. You have offended him. You offended even Lord Shiva. So be careful. And he is, as grand disciple of Manu, follows that. When Kuvera comes, he gives his respect to obeisances, and Kuvera is very touched and pleased. And there is a word used here for Kuvera, very interesting. Everybody is interested in that. In the previous shloka, I think. I was seeing that word. Dhanada, Dhanada. Everybody interested, no? Kuvera Yagna. Dhanada. They didn't say Kuvera. He says Dhanada. Dhanada. Dhanada means very easy. At least this much Shri Radha Govinda. Who can give Lakshmi? Dhanada. So do we sit and pray to Kuvera to give Lakshmi? No. We pray to Radharani. She is Adi Lakshmi. Okay? To bless us. Hare Krishna. And when you pray to Krishna, automatically Lakshmi is behind. Hare Krishna, thank you. Now, some beautiful quotations people are quoting when in the class I was seeing about false ego. So you all can start one by one. Anybody wants to enlighten us? Yes? Yeah. Are where happened? Rama Devi went away. So many people are there. Naham vipro na cha narapati na vaishyo sudro naham varni na cha grihipati novana stayitva va kintu prodyan nikala paramananda. So this is Gopi Bhartur Patakamalur Das Dashanam. Naham vipro na cha narapati napi vaishyo na shudra. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, disidentifying himself from anything in the material world. He said, I am not a Brahmana, I am not a Vaishya, I am not a Kshatriya, Narapati, I am not a Shudra. So what am I? I am nothing of this Varna. I am Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayur Dasa Dasa Anudasada, servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna, who is the maintainer of gopis. Gopi Bhartu means maintainer of the gopis. The Krishna who is the maintainer of the gopis. Nice. Thank you. Yes, Sudha 3.27, can you speak that shloka?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. Prakrate kriyamanaani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudasma karta hamiti manyate.
Ahankara vimudha. When delusion by ahankara, person says, actually I am the doer, but actually everything is happening by the mental nature. Very nice. Yes. 2.71, Nirmamo Nirahankara Sa Shantim Adhigacchati. Correct. Thank you. Okay, any other comments from anybody about pride, about ahankara? How do you deal with it? You do get proud sometimes. How do you deal with it? Yes, Adi Deva, how do you deal with pride? When in class 500 people come to learn Mridanga, how do you deal with pride?
Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Pranams. Yeah, so
Adi Deva also
pride.
got the gold medal recently. So how do you deal with pride when people call you, "Hey, Adi, you have done such," yeah? Then?
When pride comes when we take the ownership, but when we say that all because by the grace of devotees, by the grace of the Lord, then that time the pride will not come, because when we know that we are not the doer, that time the pride will not come, bro. And
Very
anyone
good.
says, like, I try to say that it's by grace of devotees, by the grace of
Very good.
Guru Gauranga. Hare Krishna,
No,
Prabhuji.
wonderful. So even if suppose, see, because we are sadhaka, they will be pride, but we should say as sadhana like that. Correct? By the grace of Krishna. Say like that, doesn't matter. At least your voice is perfect, and one day you will start accepting that. If we keep saying, by the grace of Guru and Krishna, whatever I'm doing. One day you are hearing that, no? Correct? So as a sadhaka, even if you feel, I did it, I worked so hard, speak it. One day it will go inside the heart. Yes, Dr. Manushi, you don't feel proud, you're a big doctor. How do you handle the pride?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. I just wanted to talk. You said about gold medal, na Prabhuji. So years ago, first time I topped the university. So everyone started calling and congratulating and all that, Prabhuji. Then then it was announced that I had won a gold medal. But you know, Prabhuji, Krishna cut me to size immediately because the university was so poor by that time, they couldn't give a gold medal. So they just issued a postcard. At that time, postcards used to be in the great use. And when I told my professor that, Professor, I didn't get the gold, he said, you are trying to get a gold medal? Why? You have done your work, they have recognized it. Isn't that enough? You don't need any gold from them. Prabhuji, that day itself, Krishna saw to it that there would be no material basis to any such thing. So I thought that I don't need to do anything. The Lord has himself demolished the whole thing. So
Very good.
that's
Very good. Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Gunashi Mataji, how do you deal with pride? Sometimes you don't feel proud. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji, like I feel I'm not doing anything, and it's like just with the mercy of Guru and Krishna, I'm getting some opportunity to improve my life.
Yes.
Starting from very scratch, Prabhuji. Yeah.
See, actually what happens sometimes when people do not honor us, then we get hurt. And at that time, we have to introspect actually, we are getting hurt because we have some ahankara. So for us also, it's an opportunity to see our impurities. Yeah, Supriti Mataji, you don't get proud sometimes?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm scared of getting proud, Prabhuji. The moment we get proud, it means that we are getting away from Krishna, and
Yes.
the whole purpose of serving him is lost, Prabhuji.
Yes. So more the service attitude develops, more the pride goes away. Seva bhav. That is, everybody likes a person who has service spirit, correct? They're so sweet, they like. Yeah, Shobha Malli Mataji, you don't get pride sometime? How do you handle?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. First of all, we don't do any great thing as anybody will admire us, Prabhu. But whenever we cook something, something is good, and some guests say that, I just say it is Krishnarpanamastu. For anything, the moment I feel that I'm being, feeling proud, I just say Krishnarpanamastu.
What do you say at that moment when you're feeling proud, loudly?
Krishnarpanamastu, Prabhu. Everything is for Krishna, at the lotus feet of Krishna.
Very
Just
nice.
I'm at his feet. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, anybody else is there who would like to add? Amriteshwari Mataji, you like to add? How do you deal with pride? You are... Anybody else will like to enlighten us how to deal with pride?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Yes, Vishwapati. Vipin Vilasi, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Actually, false ego is sometimes can be compared with to the honey. Honey normally it's always sweet, and if it is over, then it is intoxicated also. So the best way is actually if you put in any type this one center in Krishna, then it will be like Madhusudan. So by the this Krishna Katha and keeping the Krishna in everything, whatever success or whatever we are getting, then it will be it will not intoxicated basically.
Beautiful quote by Sri
Pada. Already told.
Beautiful quote. Yes, Vipin Vilasji, very nice symbolism of honey. We get intoxicated with ego. Yes, Sri Pada has also given very nice. Krishna like puffed up puri but doesn't like puffed up devotees. And by Gunashi Mataji has quoted that you do not obey Krishna because of false ego. Do not work. Krishna's order is very clear to surrender. If we are not surrendering, it is because of our false ego. Yes, amazing. Thank you, Vipin Vilas. Muralidhar Bhatia ji, yes, what do you like to add on pride?
Right. The more we associate with the devotees, the less we become proud. And the more we associate with the material people, the prideness will
Yes.
increase.
Yeah, very good. Because in the material world, everybody is trying to be, a hero. So in that association, we only think is pride, है everybody is measuring each other. It's all pride. There is no attitude of service. Material world is to become master of the master. Spiritual world is to become servant of the servant, है It's very nice, very nice. Association will change us. Anunaya. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I remember, Prabhuji, when you had shared one instance when Mirabai visits Vrindavan and she wants to meet Sanatan Goswami. And the Sanatan Goswami says that no, being a man, he cannot meet a woman. And then, or Purusha. Okay, and then Mirabai writes to him that no, I thought there is only one Purusha in Vrindavan. And then immediately Sanatan Goswami comes to meet her. So that is a very nice example of immediate correction. Even if we fall or make a mistake, there is always opportunity to correct ourselves and
identify. That's the arrangement of the Lord. Okay? In fact, very nice. Sripada Mataji, thank you. One more quotation. Sanatan Goswami Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who am I? And he says, Grame Vyavahare Kahe Pandita Satya Kavimani. He says, he submits himself. In the village talk, they say, I'm a great learned, and I believe that. But I'm such a great Pandit that I don't even know who am I and why I'm suffering. So beautiful. So thank you. Shureshwara Prabhuji, make the intelligence the CEO of the mind, then the false ego. Yes, very good. Prabhuji is from the corporate world. Yes. Neeraja Mataji, Hare Krishna. Long time we heard from you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, first of all, I don't have anything to feel pride. And in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji, Krishna says that who is not hateful towards any creature and who is very friendly and compassionate, and a person who has no an idea of mine in him, mine, myself, and all in him, and there is no idea of egoism for them, and who is under the sorrow and happiness, and who is forgiving for everyone, that person is free from ego, Prabhuji. And we can fight the ego by 4 ways, Prabhuji. Like, we should not compare ourselves to anyone. We should not compare. So what we are, that's all. So,
okay. Then, what are the other 3 ways?
And we should always remain like a student, Prabhuji. Like, we have to put ourselves in the room where that we have the least knowledge. We don't have any knowledge, and we have to keep trying to learn from others. We should not feel that we know everything, and we should never complain for anything, Prabhuji. We have to adjust for everything as far as possible, and most of the needs we have to control, Prabhuji. We should not try to satisfy almost our needs. Oh, it's possible from me, let me do it. It should not be like that. We have to control our needs, Prabhuji.
Very nice.
Hare
so
Krishna.
You get 4 formulas. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pushpa Mataji, Hare Krishna. Puja Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, no question of false ego comes for...
Little louder,
like
Mataji.
Because
a little louder.
no question of any false ego comes, Prabhuji, because we are all old devotees, old congregation devotees, then not much of service. But when we were in Mangalore, we used to go for book distribution. At that time, so many kinds of people come. Whenever we used to go to the beach side for book distribution, some people used to criticize, some people used to say, I'll take this, the money is too much. So many kinds of. At that time, we should always be very tender, very, in a loving way, we have to explain to them about these books. So we have to lower ourselves. Then
yes, very
arguing
nice.
with them. Then arguing with them. Better not arguing with them. Just explain them, and then it is their wish whether they want to buy the book or not. That's
See
all.
what happens very interestingly, the people, when you meet them, they can actually feel this person is free from falsehood. They can feel. The way the devotee says, Hare Krishna, would you like to have Bhagavad? People get touched. Everybody in this world is like, I'm hero, that hero, and he's standing like a beggar, and he's so humbly saying, would you like to have Bhagavad Gita? People get touched by that, his absence of
Yes,
falsehood.
Prabhuji.
Very
Thank
nice.
you,
People can feel it. So when I get proud, Jyoti Lakshmi Mataji, I remember it is Radha Govinda who has given me the service. Yes, great. Thank you. Pooja Rakhe. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Sadhe Pranam. Prabhuji, in material life, definitely that ego is there, that aham is there. When you
And
come in
loudly,
Krishna
loudly, all of you,
consciousness,
my ears are
Hare
less.
Krishna,
Ah,
am I audible?
yeah.
Yes. So in material life, definitely that ego, that aham is there. But when you come in Krishna consciousness, sarvam Krishnarpanam. So that aham goes, Prabhuji. That aham has to be completely kept away. And there the pride cannot come. So you have to feel dasanu, dasanu, das. Whatever work you are doing, definitely that service attitude has to be there. And that I think cannot give you that pride. Whenever you try to get that, I think that feeling, and when you are in Krishna consciousness, that I always say that Sarvam Krishnarpanam, as Shubhamalli Mataji says. So that is always there. Everything to please Lord. Whatever we are doing, we are not something great to do anything, but it is all for pleasing Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, wonderful Mataji. So keep meditating on Krishna. That's why now you see that Manu will instruct Dhruva Maharaj, increase your samadhi, meditation on Krishna. Because presently, see, false ego develops when your focus on Krishna goes away. You're focusing on yourself, correct? Increase your focus on Krishna, all the problems disappear. As the problems appear in the world, the problems are only impetus for you to meditate more intensely on Krishna, correct? Because that's how when Nanda Maharaj came to know that there is from Vasudeva, they go to calamity to come in Vrindavan. He was running toward Vrindavan and his meditation in Krishna, he kept increasing in meditation Krishna and intense. Because anyway, he's the one who can solve the problem. Correct? So you meditate more on Krishna. Rama Devi, one by one. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopanga Sapashanam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayajantihi Sumedha Saha. Thank you, Mataji. All devotees are becoming so intelligent now. Okay? That are the assets. You are all the assets. When my colleagues come and say, what is the preaching? I'll say, these are the assets. See how many shlokas they are quoting, left, right, center. Okay? Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.